Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. And before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently using. And that is my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. All right, so let's get started with the very first question because I have loads and loads of eye candy for you guys today. Okay, first question from Sandra Capers. I am planning a trip to Paris in the near future. Can you help me understand how tax/VAT, etc. works? Is it better to use a credit card or should I use cash? Do we have to pay taxes when we come back into the US? This is a great question. And I actually did a video solely on VAT. I think it was maybe 2.5 years ago. It was from the first time I went to Paris. And I will make sure and link it on the description box below. That way, if you guys are interested or if you guys are going to be traveling anytime soon, check it out. I look a little different, so so just keep that in mind. And they actually tell you that if you use your credit card, you get a higher percentage back than if you were to use cash. So obviously you want to try to save as much money as possible. So I always use my credit card. And I feel it's a little bit more secure. You know, I just feel that way instead of carrying that amount of money with you, especially if you're going to be doing the high-end shopping. And whenever I do travel, I like to set aside maybe 1-2 days where I'm going to be doing the high-end shopping because you need your passport. And obviously I want to try to, I don't want to lose it if I'm sightseeing or anything to happen to it. So that's why I always set aside 1 day for it. And then after that, it just kind of sits in the what's it called? In the hotel. That way I don't have to worry about it. And now, when it comes to taxes coming back into the U.S., you are allowed $800 for one person or $1,600, I believe, for a couple coming back into the U.S. And whenever you fill out that customs form, you want to be 100% truthful, honest. You know, they say that anything over $1,600 is subject to taxes for you to pay taxes when you come back into the U.S. Now, I was extremely lucky when I went to Italy and Paris this last time because if you guys saw my my European haul, I brought back quite a bit. And, you know, I was prepared to pay taxes when I came back to the U.S. It was well over 1,600 US dollars that I was bringing back. And I didn't have to pay. So it's not that every single person is subject to pay it. I don't want to, obviously, I don't work for customs, so I don't want to speak out of turn, so I don't want to give you guys false information, but you are subject to pay taxes when you come back into the U.S. You want to be 100% honest, as I said before, because the penalty for lying is definitely not worth it. You are still, even if you do end up paying taxes, you are still saving quite a bit of money from what you would have purchased if you were to purchase the item here in the U.S., you know, and whenever it's any type of government form or any form, you know, at all where it's official or anything like that, you do not want to, you know, think that, oh, maybe they won't catch me or maybe they won't do this, maybe they won't do that. I wouldn't do it. It's not worth the risk. And, you know, like I said before, I was prepared to pay, you know, the amount that it is. And I was very fortunate. So you do have to pay taxes. You are subject to pay them. So again, check out that video if you guys are interested. Dara Howie, out of all of your bags, what would you say is the best for a starter bag? I'm thinking the classic Speedy 30. I'm not really sure. And here I brought out my Speedy 30 Mon Mono. So we have a little bit of eye candy. And I have to agree with you. I love the Speedy 30, the classic Speedy 30 for a starter bag or just to add to any collection at any point in time. I particularly like this size the best. I had the 35. I found it to be a little too large for every day, but I love this shape. It still fits quite a bit in here, and even though you have to carry it in your hand or in the crook of your arm, I just really like it. There's something about it. It's very iconic. It's very chic. It's very classic. So to me, the Speedy 30 is a great option. Another one will definitely not be a surprise, as I would have to say that the Neverfull MM is another fantastic piece to start your collection with. I love the tote. I love the fact that you can fit so much in here. You can be hands-free, so you don't necessarily have to carry it in one hand or in the crook of your arm or anything like that. I just absolutely love the Neverfull, especially the Neverfull MM in particular. I think, again, this is one of the type of silhouettes that suits any body frame, and I just really like it. So between the Neverfull MM or the Speedy 30, I think both are fantastic. Both are fabulous, and I talk about them quite often. So either either one I think would be a great way to start your collection. God Genta, I know when it comes to bags, you should only store them in their dust bags and not in their boxes so the leather can breathe. But does the same apply with SLGs? I only store my bags in the dust bags, but when it comes to small leather goods, I store them inside their boxes in their dust bags. Am I doing it wrong? Please help. This is another great question. And most of the SLGs are lined with leather, so you kind of want to do the same thing that you would do with handbags and make sure that that leather is able to breathe. So it's always best to make sure that they're in their dust bags only instead of the box, because what could happen is that that leather could end up bubbling, or that moisture that's kind of just set inside of the box could end up affecting the interior or the lining of your small leather goods. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And I just want to show you guys really quickly. If you guys have been watching me for a while, this is, most of you know, this is the removable pouch for my Josephine wallet, and you guys know the story behind this. But I did have my wallets at some point in time in the boxes, and then I took them out and I just left them in the dust bags. But I did have a little bit of a bubbling effect. I know some of you guys have said that this happened to you also without having it been inside of the box. So mine is more so just a little bit more of a, I guess, a quality control issue. But this is something that could happen if you don't end up letting the leather breathe. So that's why I wanted to show you guys. See those little bubbles there? That's definitely something that you want to avoid. And obviously this definitely, affects the resale value. So that's another way, that's another reason why you want to be really careful with them and make sure that they are able to breathe. Seahawks #1 fan. What will be your next Chanel handbag purchase? Also, why didn't Chanel make the wallet on chain with a removable chain? Great question. Okay, so what is my next Chanel handbag purchase? Well, my next Chanel handbag is somewhere in this house. However, you guys haven't seen it because I haven't seen it. My hubby actually purchased it for me. I already know what it is, but he's waiting until our wedding anniversary, which isn't until August 18th, for him to give it to me. So he hid it because I snoop around. I don't know where it is. I barely saw the brown box that it came in, and then he just took off and he said, okay, it's going away for a little bit. But I'm so excited. Like I said before, I already know what it is, but we will be doing a full-on unboxing together. So I cannot wait for that day to come. But that's a long time. August 18th. It's barely the 1st today. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Okay, I even told him, I said, why don't you drop me some hints so I kind of know where it is? He said no. So yeah. Okay, also, why didn't Chanel make a walk with a removable chain? I don't know. I really wish they would have. I think it would have made it a little bit, a little bit dressier if you wanted to without having to wear the chain if that's something that didn't really catch your eye. However, my sales associate and one of my very good friends, we were talking about this about 2 weeks ago. There is a clutch. I believe it's called the O case. I could be wrong. I don't remember the name. Everything seems to be called an O case. But it's about the size of this wallet, and it comes with a removable chain, which is pretty cool. And it has the pockets inside, kind of like a wallet on chain would, without it being too tall. And again, it's about this size. And I thought it was pretty cool. I think he said that it retailed for, I want to say $1,200 maybe. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on it. But again, it's about the size of the zipped wallet, and it comes with that removable chain, which is pretty awesome. But I think it was called the O case. Again, I apologize for not knowing the exact name. He said that the boutiques only got a handful of them, and by the time that they hit the store, they had already sold out. So I don't know if we're going to be seeing more of them in the future, but if you can, ask your sales associates about it. And again, it's about this size. So I thought that was pretty cool, but I really wish they would have added the chain to be removable. I thought that would have been really nice on the wallet on chain, because sometimes people, again, don't want to see the chains at all. They don't want to see that, especially if they want to be a little bit more, if they want something a little bit dressier whenever they're going to a wedding or some type of formal event. But I think that would have been really nice to see. I don't think that they've had a wallet on chain without the chain itself. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay. Sue Locked. Will you do something special when you reach your 100th Q&A video? It's quite a milestone, and these vids have definitely reached iconic status. Oh, you are so, so sweet. Okay, so I have thought about this so many times. You know, I want to do something super, super special for our 100th Q&A video. I just don't know what. Every time I think of something, I'm thinking, should I make it an hour-long video? You know, but really an hour long, some people think that half an hour is already long enough, you know? Or then I start thinking about this and that, and then I say, that's lame. No one wants to see that. You know, so I don't know. I want it to be super special. I want it to be super fun. So I'm coming to you guys. What do you guys think I should do for our 100th MMQA? I don't know. I really need your guys' help because I want it to be super special. And the fact that you guys have tuned in for 100 videos on handbags and all other sorts of topics means the world to me. It's insane. We're on what, number 97 today? So it's creeping up. It's coming up. But I am really excited to hear what you guys have to say. What you think I should do. Give me some ideas down below. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait because it's going to happen August 22nd, I think. So it's coming. But that's crazy, 100 videos. And I will continue to go past 100, like I told you guys, until you tell me, Minnie, shut up. We don't want to hear you anymore. I will continue to do these videos because I love doing these. I think they're so much fun. Or maybe I should do it live. Can I do it live? I don't know. That would be awesome too. Okay. Sophie Hutchins, what do you think of a woman buying a men's bag? The Louis Vuitton Hold All from the 2017 collection. The zigzag one, as the elephant one looks slightly demonic. I agree. The Hold All or the Keep All from the 2017 collection. They have, I think there's one with an elephant too, right? Or not an elephant, a lion as well. But the elephant looks a little freaky, not gonna lie. But how do I feel about women buying men's bags? I am all for it. To me, I feel that Louis Vuitton is 100% unisex, that the men's line is perfect for women and the women's line is perfect for men and vice, or, you know, I think it's great. And, I feel that when it comes to some of the men's line, you know, the Damier Graffiti or the Cobalt or even the new absolutely stunning Monogram Eclipse, I am all for it. If you guys haven't seen the Monogram Eclipse, just think of, let me just pull this over. Just think of this monogram, but in the dark brown is black and the little caramel is gray. It is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. I saw one of the Keep Alls and I am dying. It makes me drool when I see it. And even though a lot of people think that the monogram just screams the brand from a mile away, you can see it. When it comes to the Monogram Eclipse in specific, I feel that it's still very subtle, and I feel that it adds a type of freshness, if you will, to any collection or to the fashion house in general. I think it's one of the best things to come out of the fashion house in quite some time. I love it. I think it's beautiful. There's just definitely something about it. But in general, to answer your question, I think I am all for it. You know, women buying in men's and men buying in women's. I think it's perfect. I think it's wonderful. And again, it just adds a little bit of a little bit of a difference, a little bit of an edge to a collection without it being too edgy, if that makes any sense, without it being too out there, without it being just too much. I am all for it. So I say go for it. Yes. But if you guys can, definitely 100% check out that Monogram Eclipse. It's just, Hanson Optenberg. I've just recently started my luxury collection and I can finally afford my first Chanel piece. I want to get a card holder or a small wallet. What do you recommend? This is a great question, and I always like starting off with small leather goods whenever I'm going into a new fashion house. Okay, so I have 3 different options here. Here I have the normal card holder that retails for $400 here in the States that has a total of 3 credit card slots, one in the front, one in the 2 in the back. The other O case card holder that retails for $450 here in the States that has the little snap button closure. And then the O zip coin purse that retails for $475 here in the States. Okay, so let's start off with this one. I really like this. If you tend to carry a little bit less with you and you want to go a little bit more compact, then I think this is a great option. You can still double them up, but be careful because as you start to double them up, if that's how you end up carrying it, they have a tendency to stretch out a little bit, like I said in the video last week. But I still think this is a great card holder. If you need to carry a little bit more with you and you want a little bit more security, then the O case card holder is another great way to go. You have one little slip compartment here and then just another large compartment there. So it does fit quite a bit, and I really like this item as well. If you tend to carry a lot more with you and you definitely want security, then the O zip coin purse is another great option. I really like this. You know, it's really small, but it fits so much in here. I did a review on it, and you guys know my love for this item, and I recently got the one that's in the black caviar leather as well. But this is a great option. I honestly think all three of them are fantastic. But again, if you want to carry a little bit less, this is a better option. If you're kind of in the middle, but you still want security, this one is a great option. Or if you carry quite a bit with you, or maybe you want one of these to be solely for coin or what have you, then this is another great way to go. But I think the price points are around the same area, so I think any one of these that you choose will be fantastic. So good luck, and I can't wait to see, or I can't wait to hear what it is that you ended up purchasing. Tammy O'Full. I recently bought my first Louis Vuitton bag, the Neverfull MM in the Damier Ebene print. Congratulations! Beautiful bag. I want to stock it up with some SLGs, and I was pretty set on starting with the clay. However, I'm thinking maybe I should start with the pochette or the 6 key holder first. Which should I start with? I have no other LV products, and I am obsessed now. Laughing out loud. Oh, I know. This obsession is going to go full blast, trust me. Okay, and then here I brought out, I think you're talking about the mini pochette, and then the 6 ring key holder besides the clay. I think any one of those three are fantastic options, and I've actually talked about them as far as great starter pieces, that any one of those would be wonderful to choose from. And for me, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know that my #1 choice is the 6 ring key holder, because this little item here ensures that the inside of your bag stays looking as fabulous as you want the outside to look. So to me, that's really important, and I feel that this is somewhat of an investment piece for your other items or the interior of your handbag. So my first choice would be the 6 ring key holder. I love it. I always have. It will always be in my collection. This will never leave, you know, and I say this is a great way to go. If, let's say, keys aren't really too much of an importance to you, and maybe you want something that's a little bit more versatile, even though the clay is 100% very versatile. I even thought about doing a is it worth it video. Obviously, you guys know my opinions on the clay, but the mini pochette is another great way, you know, and even though it's small, it definitely fits quite a bit in here. It could be a little mini handbag on its own. I did a is it worth it video on this, and I will make sure and link it down below if I don't forget. But all three of them, again, are fantastic options. For me, it would be #1, this one, then the clay, then possibly the mini pochette, although the mini pochette and the clay seem to have a little bit of a tie in my eyes, but this one definitely takes the cake for the first item that I would end up going for if I was to start my collection all over again. So hopefully that was able to help. Be beautiful. Would love to know where you are originally from. I am actually a Southern California native. I was born and raised here, and obviously I still live here. But it's funny because my hubby and I were actually talking about possibly moving. We've been really going back and forth within the last 6 months if that's something that we want to do. And we have kind of narrowed it down that if we do end up moving, it'll possibly be, especially out of state, it'll possibly be Washington State or Oregon, just something very different from, you know, the weather that we're used to here in Southern California. But who knows what the future will hold. But yeah, originally born and raised here in California, Southern California. LEN. I have a jumbo in caviar gold hardware, and I am thinking of adding a black mini rectangular for more casual use to my collection. It is only available in lambskin at the store and very hard to find pre-loved. I am careful with my bags, but I don't baby them. There are so many opposing views on the durability of lambskin versus caviar. What are your thoughts on lambskin and its wear and tear for smaller bags? I am afraid that if I wait for the caviar version of the mini to come out, the prices will have skyrocketed. I agree 100%. This is a great question. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know that even when I first started my collection, my Chanel collection, I always started with caviar. I really like the durability of it. I like the fact that I don't have to baby it. And even though I'm not very hard on my handbags either, I don't want that in the back of my mind that, oh, don't, be careful. I don't want something to happen. So I was always, I was terrified of lambskin. I was, I thought the same thing, that one little scratch, something would happen, the resale value was just not worth it, and this and that. However, this beauty right here, I did a review on this O case 2 weeks ago. This little O case has 100% changed my opinion on lambskin. I love this item. And when I first got it, the same thing, I thought, okay, it's lambskin. It's going to get ruined. It's going to be this. It's going to be all over the place. I can tell you nothing has happened to it. And I promised myself that I was not going to baby this item. I was going to use it solely as its purpose, as an O case, as a catch-all, or whatever it is that I needed to use it for. But check it out. I haven't had any issues. There are literally no scratches. It looks like the day that I got it. And I even said in that video, if this was any indication of how a smaller lambskin bag would be, then I am all for it. And I am looking forward to adding a lambskin bag to my collection, and I will be the first to admit it when, I even sat on here on my channel and I said, I will never get lambskin because of this, and that. And I 100%, I am proud to say that I can eat my words. And I was 100% wrong, because this has really opened my eyes to a whole other line of Chanel that I was always so terrified to try out, because again, I love caviar. Don't get me wrong. Caviar definitely has my heart because of its durability. And I really do like the pebbles, to be honest. But the lambskin is so soft. I think it looks a little bit more luxurious. And I say go for it, and especially with something like this. This is, I think, maybe a little bit smaller than the mini rectangular. And again, I haven't been careful. I've thrown it inside of my handbags and I don't even think twice about it. And it has held up beautifully. So if this is how the mini rectangular will wear anything like this, then I think that you will be pleasantly surprised as well. And, I personally would say go for it, only because I've had such a positive experience with that. And that is something that I'm now looking forward to. So now my sales associates know that whether it's lambskin or caviar, to send me an email on any type, or a text on any type of new items. Whereas before it was solely just caviar. So now I have a little bit more range of options, if you will, in the fashion house. So I say go for it, especially because they're so hard to find. Okay, Jillian Summers, you are always so happy and positive. What would you ever consider doing a video on how you stay in the state? Have you always been this way? This is a great question. And thank you so much. I do have a very different outlook on life than I had a few years ago. So was I always in this state of bliss, if you will? No. When I was younger, I had, and I've always told you guys before that I wasn't like this. It seemed like I was kind of bitter in a sense. And I even thought about doing a video on positivity. And I don't want it to be like an after school special or something to that effect. But if you guys are interested in me doing a video solely on positivity and kind of the journey that I went through, then I would be happy to. If I can help anyone with what I went through, then I would love to be able to do that. But let me know in the comment section down below if that's something that would interest you. But I think that's a great idea, because no, I haven't always been that way. And it was something that took a lot of hard work. And I am so thankful, because the place that I'm in right now, I am super happy. And I know that sometimes people think that, oh my goodness, you're so loud, you're so happy, you're so this, you're so that. It's a matter of where I was to where I am now. And I will tell you with certainty that I am 100% happier in this state than I ever was back then. So it's definitely something that I wouldn't mind sharing with you guys. And the last question from Sandra H. How do you feel about companies who copy high luxury brands but don't replicate the logos, just the shape? This is a great, great question. I think if you were to go into Target, into Forever 21, H&M, they all have a lot of bags that are very, very similar to high-end luxury brands without having to replicate the logos or anything like that. And in a sense, I think it's a fun way to see if that shape would end up working out for your lifestyle. Of course, it won't have the same quality as the other high-end luxury brands do, but it's funny because even other high-end luxury brands try to duplicate, the same type of shape that kind of like the Chanel Le Boy bag has, or something like the Speedy or the Neverfull. But I think it would be a fun way to see if that shape ends up suiting your lifestyle. I've actually had 2 companies reach out to me that are very similar to Hermes, Kelly's, and Birkins. I had Teddy Blake last year reach out to me, and recently I had Parody Official reach out to me. And if you guys follow Mel Soldera on Instagram, or if you guys watch her videos, she did a video on the handbag and she posted a few pictures of a bag that she recently got from Parody Official. It looks very similar to a Kelly, but it has patches on it, and it doesn't have Hermes on it or anything like that. So I thought it was a really fun way to kind of liven up the bag by putting those patches on there. And even though they're not putting Birkin on there, or they're not putting Made in France, they're not putting Hermes on there, I feel that it still kind of takes away from the originality of the fashion house that created that design, and I think it's a fine line between replica and not. And I'm not going to get into replicas because you guys know how I feel about it. But I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. And I think it would be a fun way to try out, I guess like I said before, trying out the shape of the fashion house, to see if that's something that works out for you or not. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel kind of weird. Is it just me? The bag that they're offering me is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, I like the fact that it has the patches on there, but at the same time, I don't want it to take away from the fashion house. I don't want it to, there's something very, very special about an Hermes Kelly, and there's something very, very special about an Hermes Birkin, and they're just such beautifully crafted handbags, and I don't know. So I think it's fun in a way, again, to see if it works out for your lifestyle, but at the same time, I think it takes away from the fashion house and it takes away from the originality. And I do strongly feel that there is a fine line between that. So I don't know. I haven't really decided if that's a route that I want to go towards, but I think it's fun, especially where was I? I think it was at Target, and I saw a bag that looked exactly like the Celine Trapeze, and I was blown away. It had the different colors, the hardware, and everything, and I was like, what? This is a Celine Trapeze. But again, the quality isn't the same. But still, I think it's really fun. And you don't have to worry about it being a full-on replica with it, with it having the logos and all that other stuff on there. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know on the comment section down below how you feel about, in particular, those 2 companies. But I haven't given them a yes, and I haven't said no. Because I'm so on the fence about it. But anyways, that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. Thank you guys so much for all the wonderful questions. I hope I was able to help, and I hope I was able to give you guys some eye candy today as well. But I will see you all tomorrow, and as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.